All right, and we are live a minute late. Sorry, guys. Welcome
Yo.
to another episode of Good Pickins Podcast,
Yep.
episode 67, I believe. Welcome,
Good deal.
welcome, guys. Been a
Yeah, man.
minute. I
Yeah.
literally was just texting Marcus the other day. I was like, whose channel is it on? I feel like we haven't done this in forever, but
Yeah.
it literally was only 1 week where we did cancel. But doing it every other week, if we cancel a week, it makes
Yeah.
it seem extra
Yep.
long.
Yep.
So,
Sorry,
but
guys. We
but
still we still love you.
yes, we still love you. We're still here for you.
Yeah.
Hope everybody's new year is going well. I keep seeing memes about tax stuff, like
Yeah.
reseller tax stuff, and I'm like, ah, that
Yep.
time.
About that time.
That
Yeah.
time of year.
I had my identity stolen a few
No.
years back. Yeah.
Oh, oh,
Way.
oh, oh. I thought you meant
Not
recently.
recently.
Okay.
But no. So like every year I get this identification PIN number so I can do my taxes.
Yep.
I got that in the mail today. I
I
know
know
it's about
exactly what
that
you're talking about.
time. Yep. So it's getting
Yeah.
close.
Dude, that stuff sucks, man. Or like whenever you have to go to like apply for something that requires a credit check, you got to
Yeah.
unfreeze all your credit things with each bureau, and do the whole
Yeah.
thing, and
Yep.
that
It is
sucks.
what it is, man.
Yeah.
I'd rather it be, to where I have the PIN number than somebody still out there using my identity.
Oh, facts. I mean, I'd rather jump through the hoops, the little bit of hoops,
Yeah. But
because like,
bro, when I was waiting on the first round of this whole stuff going on, it took me forever and it was such a nightmare. Like it took me about 2 years to get through the whole process.
that's crazy. Why did it take so long?
I don't know, dude. I have no clue. Something
Huh?
on there, and this
That's
was like
wild.
19. This was like 2016. So I have no idea what was going on then. It's not like it was to shut down or something, like low
Yeah.
staff or something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That's interesting. I never got the pin thing. I mean, I probably should have set that up with my taxes, but like whenever it happened to me, they
Mhm.
took out like an Amex and spent like 10 G's right off the rip in
Wow.
like one go. In one go, they spent 10 G's.
Dang.
And I called Amex. I was like, hey, that's not me. Close it up. And then I froze all my stuff, but which was a long process. But like doing all the like, report to the. Did you ever like report your whole incident to what's the government entity that does at the FTC? Did you ever report your stuff
I
to the
don't think
FTC?
so. I don't
No.
know. I
I
think it was
mean,
just the IRS. I'm
they
not sure, dude. It was so long ago, and I was not in the right frame of mind then either.
fair,
So I
yeah,
don't remember. I don't. It was all a blur. So is
fair.
my camera dusty, or is that just the glare?
I have no idea.
Try to get
We're
this
doing it
together
live.
real quick. Sorry, guys.
What's up, Bobby? By
doesn't,
the way,
doesn't look any better. What's up, Bobby?
no, it's all good. Did you get the same webcam that I have, or are you still using
The
the same?
Logitech thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got a Logitech.
that's
I
weird
don't
that it
know.
looks grainy like that, or like
I
it
don't know
doesn't.
if it's not the cheapest one, but it's the second cheapest one. So I
Oh,
probably got to
okay.
level up.
I don't know. I'm trying
Yeah,
out a new
because
light. I got
yours looks pretty crispy
uh
compared to mine.
we just got the new umbrella lights for the setup downstairs.
Oh yeah.
So that was nice. So now I've got these little dinky lights that I was using for our clothing
Are
setup
they
up here
changing
now.
colors?
Yeah, I don't know why it does that. It's actually probably the camera. So I don't know,
Okay.
or I'm just an alien. Who knows?
I mean, it could be. You're definitely going from pale to
So
regular
more,
skin.
yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know. We'll
Look like
figure
you're
it out.
alive than dead, alive than dead.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But what, dude? I honestly I gotta know because I
Yeah.
feel like I haven't seen you at the bins that often lately. Do you got an army of people working for you, or
No, it's just me.
did you start a clothing cult? Like
Oh,
it's not
dude,
it's not
I
revolving around
wish
Jesus.
I could.
It's just
I
a
wish I
cult,
could.
a cult
Nah,
that
man,
worships clothes.
even the lady that I had that was working for me before, I haven't heard from her. She bought a new car, which I know like if you get a brand new, it's like a 2024, dude. Like this thing's nice. So like, I know I'm not saying she needs the cash, but I would assume that someone would want the extra cash. And I haven't heard from her, man. She got the new car. I was like, look at my new car. And then I haven't seen her since. I don't know. I
Yeah,
hope, hey, if you're okay, Cara, let me know. Hopefully you're doing okay.
yeah.
I,
How long ago
I,
was that?
this was like 2 months ago, dude. So
Okay, so
yeah,
you haven't had anybody working for you since then, right?
no. I mean,
Gotcha.
I'm not opposed to it, but with me only listening 20 a day, I don't necessarily need it. However, it would make it like super awesome if I could have somebody that was picking me up all bangers, and then I'll just come through and like drop them off like $5 a piece for each one. Like
For
I'd be down
sure.
for that, you know.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, we're still working towards like getting. I think Dusty and I are we're slowly getting there to where we're wanting better quality items
Yeah.
versus, because I feel like we are listing a lot
Mhm.
and not seeing the growth that
Yeah.
we want to see. And I think that is because we're posting probably some less than quality
Yeah,
items,
don't do that.
you
You
know.
guys, I don't know how often you guys are actually getting up and going, but you guys are in prime position to be listing nothing but fire. There's this dude in my Patreon, and he's got 300 something items, like let's just say 350, because I don't remember off the top of my head.
Sure.
And his sell through in the last 90 days is like 241. So
Wow.
yeah, so he's got an insane sell through, and he's listing like all Carhartt double knee pants, cool hiking pants, like everything in his store is like fire, good items. And yesterday he sold two items and made over 120 bucks. And I'm like, bro, like
That's
I
easy.
sold
Yeah.
I sold 12 and only made like 350. So
Right.
like if he had the size store that I have with the same quality of inventory that he has, easily $1 million a year store.
Right.
So, like, I encourage you to not waste your time with fluff. It's
Right.
not worth it. You're only hurting yourselves. You're buying stuff that's not going to sell immediately. You both need the money right now because
For
this is
sure.
your livelihood.
Yeah.
So, I encourage you to not pick up stuff that isn't going to sell quick because you're going to end up running out of space. You're going to get low on cash flow again because now you guys are both buying. So it's going to be like the 30-day in a row vlogmasing or vlogging thing again
Sure.
when
Sure.
you were doing clothing, and you're going to get burnt out, you're going to run out of money, you're going to run out of space, and
Right.
then there's going to be nothing you could do but to fire sell already cheap inventory.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
No,
So
that's
like
true.
it's best to get like items that sell for 35, $45, and somebody comes in and lowballs you with 25 as a lowball. That's still a great sales price for something you got at the bins,
For
and you can
sure.
still, you can still get rid of some inventory without breaking the bank.
No, for sure. For sure. And that's just the consistency of going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like I've been more keen to going more often now because
yeah,
I think it is also really a smart thing to remember that even if you go to the bins or you go thrifting or go
mhm,
sourcing period, you don't have to spend money. Like
right.
you don't have to
You don't
do it.
find anything that's not worth buying, don't
You know, I
buy it.
mean, I think that was also like very clear, not very clear, but it was becoming more clear towards the 30-day clothing challenge where
Mhm.
towards the end I was just like I don't want to buy crap to hit this arbitrary number.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
I just want to buy stuff that I know is good, and if I don't hit the number, I don't hit the number. But if that means going to the bins more often,
Yeah.
then so be it, right?
Well, because you're only doing yourself a disservice. Like nobody cares but you about your listing goal, right? So if you're buying items that aren't going to meet your metrics, you're only hurting yourself. But
Right.
hey, you got your listings up though, like
Yeah.
that's the most stupid thing ever is to just list stuff just to hit a number. So
Like
that's why I learned that like a year and a half in, 2 years in, I was like, man, why am I doing this, man? Like
right.
it
Right.
doesn't even matter. I need to get good items.
Yeah, I was talking with another reseller slash friend of mine, Charles, and I was like, man,
Yeah,
some
I know
days,
Charles.
yeah, he was talking to you the other day, but I was like, man, I feel like there's some days where I just list like 15 DVDs, and like, yeah, that's the top of my listing goal for the day, but like,
Yeah.
they're just $6 DVDs. I
Yeah.
mean,
So
you know what I'm saying?
it's not really doing much.
Yeah, yeah, and the sell through rate on most of them is there. It's a very competitive market. I mean, it's sell throughs not that great. I mean, so I mean, it is kind of you know, it's like yeah, if I hit 15, but is that really worth it?
Right. Yeah,
You know,
is like for real. And so it's it's kind of risky to like be, going and just filling your cart up with stuff that's like, okay, well, I'm just gonna grab this stuff and then go home and just, get it listed so I can hit a list and go. And then it's risky when there's two of you doing that, right? And then if that's gonna be all you're listing is just lower tier stuff, with probably like two or three really good items sprinkled in there, then you're gonna be like, well, seems like we're not making the money that we're looking for.
for
And
sure,
it's because you're actually not. So
right?
yeah, man.
Yeah, I think I would like to be in a world where we do either live from the bins or live right after the bins or something of that nature, where we have, 5 to 10 items a run that are the $30 plus or $35 plus or whatever it is.
Right.
And then all that lower tier stuff, granted, we're probably gonna get half the money, but we're gonna be flipping it quick on Whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So we can move
Yeah.
that lower tier and keep our bottom line up, and then that higher tier, the higher sales stuff
Yeah.
will get us that long term money. You know what I'm saying?
Miss Lachey said she gave up on us.
Whoa,
I'm trying to share the story on my Instagram right now. I forgot to do that earlier.
hold on, Miss Lachey, coming in here hot, coming in here
I
hot.
mean, that's all fair. Like we haven't been live in a while, and even on my channel, I haven't gone live in like 3 weeks.
Oh, really? You haven't been
Yeah.
doing your Tuesdays?
Well, because the past Mondays was holidays, so I had to go sourcing on Tuesdays.
Sure.
So then I was a day behind. You know what I mean? Like my
Yeah.
whole work week was shifted a whole day off, so I
Yeah.
wasn't able to do it. And then this last Tuesday, I don't remember what I was doing. I think this last Tuesday I was shipping all my weekend orders, so I couldn't do it this Tuesday either. So I'll try to be back next Tuesday. So I haven't
Gotcha.
done a live in 3 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't posted a video and going on close to 2 months now, I believe. So,
Yeah.
it's dude, it's like, guys, I don't know if you guys pay attention to the Discord or not, but the amount of deaths that I've had in my life these last 3 months has been astronomical. Like, it's
Yeah.
been crazy, and just the echoes of that, sadness, depression, whatever
Right.
name and emotion involved of losing people in your life, have really, you know, yeah. I mean, with Shay's like, and now Ray only wants to do Whatnot videos. Well, the thing is, we still have to keep a roof over our head at the end of
Yeah.
the day. I will say this right now. This is pure facts. If we didn't have the booth and Whatnot, we would have struggled. We
Yeah.
would have struggled after Zesty quit. To
Well,
to
I'm
keep it.
glad you guys have found a pivot.
Oh
You
yeah,
know what I
for
mean?
sure. I mean, like, we can pay our mortgage with
Mhm.
what we make off the booth and what we make off Whatnot. So,
That's
like,
awesome.
you know what I'm saying? If we're
Yeah.
there, like, we'll be fine. The house isn't getting foreclosed on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if we didn't have those things, yeah, we'd be screwed. But
Yeah.
I mean, it is one thing going live on Whatnot, and it's a whole different thing making a video. Sometimes it just feels forced, and for anybody
What's
listening to
the
this,
video?
yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just, if it's not there, it's just not there.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah. And I felt like for me, like the last few months up until probably the end of the year, I was just kind of going through the motions, honestly. Like
sure,
I still try to put out good content for people, but if you guys ain't asking questions in the comment section, I'm literally just a dude holding a camera. And I don't have very much interesting stuff to say. I promise you. Like it gets redundant saying the same things over and over and over again. And I don't know who hasn't heard it yet. So I don't know who needs to hear it. So until
sure,
someone asks the questions, I'm thinking everybody already knows this stuff because I've said it thousands of times. You
yeah,
know what I mean? But I got like 700 videos on my channel, guys. Like I've talked about everything that there is to talk about. Like trust me. So if you guys ain't telling me what to say, I don't know what to say. I just go through the motions, show you guys what I'm actually doing. It's kind of like James. James just records his day for you guys.
yeah,
Nothing special, clear cut, no fancy edits, nothing like that. And that's kind of the way that I am. And the rest of my day is not eBay. I promise you guys, when I say I work 4 hours a day, 3 days a week, I literally leave my storage unit at 2 o'clock every day. I get there at 10, I leave at 2. Period. I'm not doing eBay any the rest of the day except for sending offers or launching my listings, which takes like 15 minutes. You know what I mean? But like the rest of my day, I spend 6 hours a day writing a script and putting together videos for my other YouTube channel. I got really no time to do anything else. You know what I mean?
right.
So, and running the Patreon, that takes a boatload of time
Oh,
too.
I'm sure. But yeah, I mean, I do feel like you really thrive. You thrive off the questions. You know what I'm saying?
I
You
do because I love to provide the information.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
really, it's honestly my joy, my pure joy is to help everybody, right? Like, and that's just what I am in general. Like, when people come up to me in the bins and they're asking me questions, like I'll stop sorting and just, answer their questions for them.
yeah.
Charles came up, asked me a question. Roger asked me a question in the bins last time, and I was more than glad to answer them. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
definitely.
But at the same time, though, if you guys aren't answering questions, I can't read anyone's mind. So I try to provide the best value that I can. But at the end of the day, I can only do so much, and
Yeah.
I don't have the most. I'm not on level 10 with the personality. I'm probably about like a 7, maybe a 7.2. At times. So like if it's just me, nobody to talk to, like not like you and I bouncing back and forth, I'm about a
Yeah.
5. You know what I'm saying?
I
So if I
think
got
I
nobody to feed off of,
I
man,
think
I'm
you
just
got
cut and
more. I
dry.
think you got more than you think, and then you also have to remember, like, we're reseller channels. Like,
Yeah,
we don't need a dog and pony
right.
show to
Yeah, let me
like
get
to
some
make the
drone footage
content
out
good.
here.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So, I
yeah,
mean, look at some of the other reseller channels. I mean, there's some monotone people out there that just kind
yeah,
of do. I mean, it's just
yeah.
it is what it is. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just yeah.
And at the end of the
So
day, it doesn't matter, man, as long as you're providing the value. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, if you're throwing little nuggets in there and people like you for who you are, I
yeah,
mean, which people do, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like it's all good. It's all good. Uh Miss Lachey said just messing with y'all. I still love you. Thank you, Miss Lachey. I
yep.
appreciate that. We love you too. I have no interest in live selling because of the Ohio state laws, but I wish others luck. I
Yeah, she
used to
can't sell. She's got to get a reseller license to
really
or something like that to sell in Ohio.
no what?
Yeah, stupid.
Dude, that's
Or
wild.
it's not. I don't think it's a reseller's license, but it's some type of like auctions license or something. Some type of she needs something to live
Interesting.
sell. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. I
She
used
says
to
she used
do
to do YouTube extreme coupon videos. People don't have any idea how much work it is unless they do YouTube. It's a lot of work putting together those videos.
yeah,
Uh, it really is.
yeah, for sure. For sure. Oh yeah, like an auctioneer's license or something, right?
Hmm.
It does. Has Whatnot told you that, Bobby? Like strictly, have they told you that?
Mm.
Uh,
Uh,
Miss Lachey said Marcus. There are always new people looking for help. I just left J Rides live, and it must have been full on newbies. Same old questions. I mean,
yeah.
they're listen. People come into our line of work every day. Every day,
And
I'm
that's the
sure.
thing, man. I've just gained like 500 subs in the last 3 weeks, so I know there's somebody on
Oh
there that's
yeah,
got questions because I'm
yeah,
recognizing all these different names in the chat,
yeah,
and a lot of them are newbies. Like there was a guy today saying, "Hey, even though I'm a newbie, should I put out YouTube videos?" I'm like, absolutely.
yeah.
Like I put
Start.
out YouTube videos when I was new.
Yeah.
So
I
um,
mean, if you look at like our first, our first
yeah,
videos, it's literally us just buying a bunch of crap and going,
yep,
"Oh, I hope these sell."
yeah, pretty
Like,
much. Yep. So, you know, she said they passed laws here. Kiko's Big Fellows last few months, 27 states have law of some title. Okay, so it's not just Ohio then. All
I'm
right.
interested to know how that involves Whatnot, though. I mean, I know you're not specifically talking about Whatnot, but
No, she is. She's talking about Whatnot and Poshmark Lives. She can't
oh,
do either of them.
oh, okay. I guess I
Yeah.
just missed that.
She.
That's really
It's just me
interesting.
knowing Bobby personally, so I
Gotcha,
already I already know this about her.
gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, so she just doesn't have those options. But yeah, man, I don't know if anybody in the chat knows if that happens in their state too. Let us know.
Yeah,
I
I'm
haven't
really
checked into
curious.
it in our state yet.
Dude, because 27 states, like that's
Yeah.
not a small amount. I mean,
Nah,
that's
that's
half.
like almost half the state, over half the states.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
That's
yeah,
interesting.
with me, making content and stuff like that. As long as I got, as long as I have somebody that's learning something from it, I don't feel like it's a total failure. I'm not
Sure.
really too much worried about the numbers as much anymore because pretty much every video does about 2,000 views, right? That's enough. I'm not in YouTube, at least on this channel, to like make $1 million off you guys. I just want
Yeah.
to teach as many people to make more money as I can.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the good thing about putting out videos that do get new subs because I can help new people. Because eventually people stop watching your channel. You know what I mean? Unless you're
Sure.
like Harry Tornado and like returning viewers definitely drops over time because people have learned all they need to learn from you. You know what I
Sure.
mean? When they get to a level that they're not learning as much from you, now they got to find somebody past where you are.
No,
You know what I mean?
that's also true. Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I I just want to help as many people as possible, and so like, if the new people come on, I think the lives will probably, because I remember when I first got the influx of new subscribers like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, there was like 100 something people on my lives, and
Yeah.
it was a pretty lively event. Now it's
Oh
probably,
yeah.
I've also changed the time frame and haven't gone live in 3 weeks, so now I'm like lucky if there's 50 that show up.
Yeah, because people want that consistency. They
Yeah,
want to know that you're going to be there the same day, same time.
yep,
Speaking of, Liz Lachey just asked, update us on the booth and whatnot. I feel like that
mm,
is another that is a whatnot strategy. Like if you we tend to go live almost every Wednesday.
mhm,
Um, so not the same time necessarily, but usually within like a 6 hour block. So
yeah,
it's either at 1 o'clock, so right after lunch, or it's 6 o'clock where it's like right before dinner time.
right,
Or like sometimes we'll do 7:30, so like right after dinner time, sort of thing.
okay,
But yeah, so the booth, crazily enough, we really haven't gone to the booth all that much lately. But it's still making really good money, so that's really sick.
nice.
We grossed $700 the last 2 months with minimal work, so that
Yeah.
was really cool. Um, what else?
And so you haven't had to even like go there to restock it pretty much either.
I think we've gone maybe 2 or 3 times in the past 3 months.
That's
So
not bad, man.
no, not bad at all. Not bad at all.
Yeah,
We've been very blessed with how that's performing.
that's what's up.
Um, but then on whatnot, yeah, same day, same time, or loosely the same time.
Mhm.
We've been doing a lot of Wednesday, Thursday, or Wednesday, Friday. Friday night seems to be a great time, but
Of
also
course.
a lot of competition.
Yeah.
So there's that. But that seems to work out pretty well because obviously people get paid on Fridays. They're ready to spend some money, that type of thing.
So what about new strategies? You got any new whatnot strategies?
I mean, not necessarily.
Not yet. I mean, I guess you haven't been doing the old ones long enough to see
Yeah,
if it's still
exactly,
working.
exactly. Like the one thing that's been popping off for us, actually last night, we had the most bookmarks on a show that we've ever had so far, which is
Mhm.
56 bookmarks.
Okay.
The previous best was like maybe 30 or 31.
Nice.
And it was for a DVD / Blu-ray build a stack show. So basically, like
Super easy to
it's a
repeat.
claim sale. Yeah, basically people come in, they type the movie or the TV show that they want in the chat. They
Mhm.
get a stack made. Everything's $2, across the board. And
Yeah.
then whenever they're ready to cash out, I make a buy it now, and then they cash out that way. It's very simple, straightforward
Mm.
stuff. However, I knew because we had that many bookmarks, I was like, this show is about to be crazy. And I
Yeah.
was running them by myself. Like, it was already crazy. Like, I was up here in this room, like, sweating in the middle of winter, like, going back and forth because, like, you have to read the monitor, you have to
Yeah.
talk to chat, like, make sure that this stuff, like, it goes in the right stack, build a new
Yeah.
stack if somebody's new, so it's like, it's a whole thing. So I go downstairs and I'm like, Zesty, you have to help me. Like
Yeah.
he's like, with what? Like what's going on? I'm like, you don't understand. I'm about to have
Yeah.
a feeding frenzy on my hands. So we ended up doing $250 gross.
What? Nice.
$250 gross in 2 hours. In two
That's awesome.
hours with
Off
Blu-rays.
media that costs like cents
Oh
per
yeah.
item.
Yeah, it's like 30 to 40 cents cost of goods per
That's awesome, dude.
per item. So it was a great time, not only like obviously making good money off stuff that we get in the
Mhm.
bins all the time. That was awesome. But her and I working back and forth and
Yeah.
trying to like have that cohesiveness, and it worked out great.
Yeah.
It worked out great.
Yeah.
So
Just imagine when you get to like thousands of followers. Like
yeah,
it'll be bananas, dude.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we kind of touched base on this the last time we had the podcast, but I
Mhm.
really want to do a live from the bins before this month is over. So we have 12
Yeah.
more days, 13 more days. Uh, do a live from the bins. That is the goal. And if it goes well, like I think it's gonna go well, because I mean I
Yeah.
feel like I have a pretty good grasp on how everything operates.
Mhm.
As long as I get my weights right, which I think I'm just gonna bring a scale into the bins.
Yeah.
Just bring a scale into the bins and be like, all right, I'm setting up shop.
Yeah.
I
That's
I think it'll go good.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea, man. Especially with light stuff like that. There's literally bins and bins and bins of that stuff. So
Oh yeah.
I think you're
And
gonna do all right.
I mean I think we're gonna maybe do a media one and a clothing one.
Mm.
just on two separate days, maybe, or just
Right.
do straight up clothing. Like, I want to see how the clothing goes because obviously other channels are very successful with the clothing.
Yeah,
Um,
especially I know Chris is killing it.
yeah.
There's a girl that does it too. I can't remember her name, but she's also in Texas too.
Oh, really?
And yeah, I can't remember her name though, but she does it from. I don't know if it's the same bins that Chris goes to, but there's 6 bins in Houston, so
Yeah.
she
More
probably
than
goes to
enough.
a different one. Yeah, and they're killing it with clothing, so it can be done, dude.
Yeah.
Definitely,
It,
especially if you got the eye for like the good stuff, like Stacy does. Chris's wife, she kills it,
oh,
dude.
she kills it for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, even some of the just like the middling brands, like the Eddie Bowers or
yeah.
the Gloria Vanderbilt sort of thing. Like some of
If
those
you
that are
get the right looking stuff, yeah, it doesn't matter necessarily what the brand is.
yeah, that's what as long as it's like either cool or in very good shape,
Mhm.
like profit can be made on whatnot.
Yeah,
I think so.
yeah,
It should be interesting. Definitely excited. Oh, also, so I had a show this afternoon as well,
yeah. I saw
and I
the
and I got a message. I got a message from a member of the team of whatnot. I don't know exactly what, maybe the promotion team or something, but they
right.
were like, "Hey, we're gonna push notification your show today. So if you notice an influx of viewers right at the beginning of the show, that's why. If you need to reschedule your show for whatever reason, let us know so we can change the push notification." So I think they
Okay, is that what
globally.
Jeff's talking about?
Oh, what did he say that?
He said, Good evening." He said, "This afternoon," or he said, even this afternoon, you had hella people on your show."
Yeah, yeah.
How
Like
many did you have on there?
it literally. I'm not even kidding, guys. Like in the first 30 seconds of the show, I was already at like 35 concurrent, 35 or 40 concurrent. Like it was crazy.
Okay,
It was
yeah,
crazy. So yeah, like I mean, today was absolutely stellar as well. Um,
that's awesome.
like it was just wild. So like getting recognized, I guess by whatnot. Like I guess they have some metrics in place to be like, hey, let's boost this
It's
channel.
quite possible, man.
Because I mean,
Yeah,
why else would they do that sort of thing? I don't know.
right.
But anyway, but that was cool. Yeah. So whatnot's cool.
Bobby said she sells at flea markets, thank goodness, and buy sell trade places. Thank goodness. Online slowed down, and I am a super slow lister. I used to be at an antique mall for 10 years.
Okay.
And she also said Poshmark bugs me all the time. I applied before I found out Auction Professor on YouTube has a video explaining. Okay, so about
Oh,
the taxes or the auctioneers thing.
yeah. Auction at the bins would be fun to watch. Our bins is so hit or miss. Or wait, is so hit
Said it
miss
was bad. It
bad
never
whenever.
would work. Are you
Uh,
still building up your clothing on eBay? How's that going?
yeah, we are. I mean, we are just talking about kind of how we're listing maybe some not as quality things. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
that's been a little bit of struggle. We're trying to like get on the Marcus program where we go more often and just only source quality things, more quality things, not just, super. Obviously nobody can get just bangers all the time, right? Like
Yeah.
that in a perfect world that'd be great. But that's where we're trying to get towards. Trying to get towards.
Yeah, man. And you'll feel so much better about it too. I promise you, dude. Like that's why I said in my last video, I was like, man, I just have such a peace of mind.
Sure.
Uh knowing like that the items now don't get me wrong, because in that video there was some $8 sales and some $5 sales, and there's still like I got a $5 offer today. Like some of the items that I have are not worth being listed, but I've already got them listed and eventually they will sell, but they're just not going to sell for a lot of money. But the bulk of the items that I'm putting in the store that are selling immediately are all good items. So like I know that at least if I'm putting something in there now, it makes up for all the garbage stuff that does sell. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that
Yeah.
stuff's still selling. I still sell like 2 or 3 old items, every day.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's slowly but surely getting moved out. Like over the weekend, I sold 7 really old items.
Yeah.
So I just gotta piece it out, man. It's just gonna move when it moves.
Yeah. Are you still running like markdown
I've
stuff
got
on
a
the
20% markdown right now on it's a sporadic mix of items. I just went into the markdown manager. I didn't sort by oldest inventory or anything. I just marked down half of my store at 20%.
Yeah.
So just to see if it would generate any traction, and it has not. Only
Really?
generated $32 of sales. So
Wow.
I'm gonna let it time out and then probably like go in there and get anything that's older than a year and a half and slap that on like 40% off sale and just
Yeah.
wholesale it out pretty much, fire sell it out, get it out of there.
Yeah.
But it's the thing is, man, is like the trends just continue to change and things that used to be cool 2 years ago just aren't cool anymore. And things that were
Right.
not cool 2 years ago that I had listed are cool now. So it's like, certain things like I was listing flare leg jeans like 2 years ago and they weren't selling immediately. Now, if I list a pair of flare leg jeans, them things are selling within 2 days,
Right.
and
Right.
so it's you just learn these things as you go along. Skinny jeans not really worth picking up unless you're getting like plus size. Plus size skinny jeans still sell. But when it comes down to regular size jeans, either boot cut or flare leg or either boot cut that looks like flare leg is gonna fly. Or baggy. Anything baggy for women is selling too.
Take
So
notes. Take notes, guys. I'm taking notes.
yeah, man. And this is just stuff that you learn over and over and over again. Because when you're going through your sales every day, and you're noticing, I just listed this 3 days ago and it sold already, huh? That
Yeah.
sticks in your brain. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And especially like when you list something that sells that same day, you're like, all right, I'm onto something here. So it's something that happens more and more. Like I've sold 17,000 items, so if you do that and you try to like dive into those souls and look at what's selling quickly and what do you sell the most of and like look at your sales chart for the month and see what your number one categories are for that particular month, and if something is working, like James calls it, your foundational items, his hats, his CDs, his media, and all that stuff are his top 5 categories, right? And so like he just continues to pick that stuff up or continues to keep listing it because he's already at 5 storage units of it. Me, I
Right.
know hoodies are my number one category right now, only because it's cold outside. But after it gets not cold outside, t-shirts are going to go from number two back to number one. And then probably at the end of the year, hoodies and sweatshirts will get back in the number one spot again. But
Sure.
right now, I'm just picking up as much outdoor stuff as I can, as much hoodies and sweatshirts as I can, because I've only got what 2.5, 3 months of good cold weather for people to be buying this type of stuff in. So I'm buying it while I can because I'm going to continue to buy it when it's summer, but it's just going to sit until it starts getting cold again. Do people buy hoodies and sweatshirts in the summertime? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I saw 4 pairs of shorts the other day. So it carries over. You sell winter stuff in the summer and summer stuff in the winter, but you definitely want to work inside the seasons as much as you possibly can because obviously that's going to be where your fast sell through comes from. You know what I mean? And obviously, sell through is still king. At the end of the day, you can have fast sell through on items and move some stuff out the door. Or you can have slow sell through and not be moving stuff out the door. It can still be quality items, but if it sells once a year, you're beat.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you're not supplementing, that with something like whatnot or something like that, it is so hard to grow fast. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It's
yeah,
hard to grow fast. Because like with the clothing challenge again, I was doing 28 a day.
yeah.
In all reality, if I were to keep that going, I probably should have started at like 15 clothing items a day on top of whatever else I was doing.
Right.
To sort of
Yeah,
or 10 even.
yeah.
Because I buying
Just
28
something.
was hard.
Yeah,
It made me broke.
yeah, yeah. And that's the thing, man. Like when I went from at the beginning of the year, I was doing 33, and then when I went from 33 up to 90, bro, that was challenging.
Yeah.
Not only did I go up in my daily listing, but I went up 3 times what my daily listing was. You know what I mean? 30 to 90, not once a week. Every day I needed 90. So it's like
Yeah.
now I gotta go twice. I'm just buying stuff to be buying it because I gotta hit
Exactly.
90 a day. And it's like
Exactly.
I'm literally not selling enough and my storage is running crazy. I'm like, I got 5 storage units and I got all this stuff and like stuff is selling, don't get me wrong, but it's like I'm buying more than I'm selling. And so like the money was there. The money was there, but it was a tight squeeze. Like it was just enough for me to pay the bills.
Yeah.
But I was dipping into tax money, like money that I had set aside to pay my estimated taxes with. I was dipping into that like,
Sure.
oh, well, I got to use this until I get my payout today, and then like I put it back, and it's just like that's not a good way to run a business. You know
No,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like when you could just be smart and just not pick up a bunch of items, and sell stuff that's really going to sell quick, sell stuff that's going to make a lot of money off it. No $12 items, like that's a grind. You're going to need 90 $12 items a day,
Yeah,
versus
seriously.
you can just do 20 $25 items or 20 $35 items.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've honestly noticed more and more resellers recently have trended that way.
Yeah.
Especially sellers that are, still doing a lot of eBay,
Mhm.
Poshmark, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It really does
Well,
seem
it's
to be the
because
way.
if they ain't giving us no sales, the ones we get got to
E-
be worth it.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. No, that's real talk. That's real
What you
talk.
gonna do? Sell
Well,
5 items for $5 profit a piece? Like, go get a
and
job at McDonald's.
I think that yeah, right. And I think that there's something to say about, the societal change of
Mhm.
wanting more quality items, more buy it for life brands,
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah,
that too. So,
absolutely. Yep.
you know,
That's definitely a thing I've noticed inside my store. The things that I am selling are things that are going to be like not necessarily utility looking, but going to be durable.
yeah.
It's good quality brands with a solid name of stuff that holds up, like Carhartt and Duluth and even Wrangler. Wrangler's got a good reputation for you being able to beat it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then so like other things that are selling are stuff that's trending right now. So like Nike hoodies. You can sell a Nike hoodie that's stained up like Carhartt. I don't know why. I don't know why you can't, but you can.
But you
You know
can.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So I pick it up. You know what I mean? And so it's like I've built my basis of my business around selling raggedy trash items, right? Is that the most optimal for everybody? Probably not. You know what I mean? But I found this eclectic niche of weirdos that like to buy dirty stuff on eBay. So I sell them a bunch of stuff that's stained up and got holes and flaws and rips and tears, and I just keep selling it to them, and it works.
Let me ask you
So
this.
yeah,
Have you been selling more camo stuff?
absolutely, dude. It's trending right now.
Yeah, it's totally trending. And
It's trending like
I
crazy.
mean, you again, we've said this many of times, but like look around at the younger kids that are at
Yeah,
your bins or your
yeah.
thrift store and see what
Pay
they're
attention to
wearing.
what they're wearing.
And they're wearing camo. They're
Yeah.
wearing
My
like
pastor comes up to me at church the other day and he's like, "Man, is camo trending right now?" And I was like, "Absolutely, why?" And he said, "Because I saw two young girls in the grocery store with baggy camo pants
yeah,
on."
baggy
And I'm like,
camo.
"There's no way these girls are wearing this stuff." And I was like,
Oh
"Yeah,
yeah.
dude, it's definitely trending right now." And the
Yeah.
reason why he asked that is because he got reminded because this 21-year-old kid was sitting there with us wearing a camo jacket. And he's like, "This is crazy, man." He said, "I got bins and bins and totes of that stuff." And I was like, "Sell it to me."
Yeah.
And I was like, I've been selling this high visibility stuff, and the 21-year-old kid wears high visibility Dutch, Dutch heating and air, the like HVAC
Oh,
place. He
yeah.
works there. And he's
Okay.
like, I got a ton of that stuff. So he's got a totes of high visibility hoodies. The other guy's got totes and totes of camo. I'm like, I'll buy it all, guys. Like, let me
Yeah.
get that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the stuff that flies off the shelves for me, man.
Yeah.
So,
It's I half the battle of being a reseller. I will always say this. I'll die on this hill, but like it is having a finger to the pulse of
mhm,
what's incoming and outgoing.
yeah.
It
Yep.
really is.
I'm
Um,
telling you guys, if you sell clothes, follow Aged Ivy on Instagram. Especially you and I, we need to be watching because they're in
oh yeah,
Columbia.
I'm gonna write that down right
They're
now.
they're in Columbia, Missouri. They used to have a store inside the university, like inside the school, and
Okay.
then they made enough money to where they could get an off-campus store, and they got their own brick and mortar. And if you go on their Instagram, they got like thousands of like they sell stuff to Nick Jonas, Haley Bieber, like it's celebrities are buying their stuff. They're that on trend with stuff, and so
You say on Instagram?
yeah, Instagram aged like ag like aged to perfection.
Yep.
Ivy. There's a girl store and there's a female a male store. Aged Ivy is the men's store.
Okay.
And then the other one, the female store is like Age dot Ivy or something like that.
I'm gonna put it in chat for you guys just in
Yeah.
case.
And anybody that sells clothes or even just wants to know what's on trend right now, just look at the store and you could see they do these drops, they do these releases, and they just snipe a bunch of Carhartt, a bunch of like Harley stuff, and a bunch of like that's how I found out that like this biker goth stuff was trending. You know
Sure.
what I mean?
Sure.
So just pay attention to it. Besides that, like I see on the news, like basketball players are wearing these gigantic like platform black shoes with wide like kickwear pants, and I'm like, this just absolutely looks ridiculous on you guys, but hey, if you're buying it, I
That's
need to be picking it up.
exactly. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It
Yeah,
doesn't matter what your opinion is of it.
right.
You just
Yep.
got to sell it.
Yep. So,
Yeah.
just keep your ear to like who's in the know, and you'll be in the know too.
Well, and
That's just one of the sources.
I think that's also is what has lent it to the Blu-ray and the DVD thing, like kind of popping
Mhm.
off on the whatnot, is the fact that Best Buy and I think another was it Walmart that has no longer they're no longer selling physical media. So like
Really,
all these Blu-rays and DVD sellers or collectors are like
they're
buy
making
buy
bank
buy
on
buy
it.
buy.
Yeah, of course.
So that's
Uh,
you know even stuff like that. Like if you're you gotta definitely keep a little lookout to the news,
yeah,
and kind of see stuff
absolutely.
like that. But yeah, it's dude, it's interesting. I love that that part of like seeing the incoming outgoing trends.
Yeah,
Miss Lachey said Marcus sounds like you need to do a church announcement.
I don't
What?
know what that means, buddy. Oh, she's talking about buy the Carhartt and Nike
Oh,
and yeah. See,
yes.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to get very much Nike stuff, but I would get. I live in the sticks. Like Ray lives in the city. You know what I mean? I live in the super super rural area, and there's nothing but a bunch of farmers and hunters down here. And
Yeah.
every year they buy new camo
Sure.
because last year's camos last year's,
Right,
and you
right.
gotta look good in the newest of drip while
Yeah.
you're out hunting.
Yeah.
So
While
there's a
you're in that
lot of it.
stand.
Yeah, there's a lot of it around here, man. And I get a boatload of it. I pick almost all of it up. There is exceptions to the rule. Like sometimes if it's just like really, really messed up, I'm gonna leave it behind. But I sold a button-up camouflage shirt that was vintage. It had about 7 holes in it. And the guy offered me like I had a list for 25 bucks. He offered me like 10 bucks. He was like, this is due to all the holes. And I said, it was priced with the holes in consideration. So he went back up to 20. And I was like, like, dude, it's worth it. He's like, oh, okay. And so instead of 10, he paid 20 for it. So
That's funny.
you know, it's
That's
crazy,
funny.
man, how what's selling.
What modern camo brands have you noticed that weren't selling before are now selling? Are
I
there
don't
any in
think there's any
particular?
brands that weren't selling before as much as it's like items that weren't selling before. So
Okay.
like so camo hats like with just like
Yeah.
Boatman's Bank or like,
Yeah.
Commerce Bank on it. Like those are selling now for no reason, right? Whereas
Right.
before, like a nice like duck camo, like vintage mossy oak hat might sell, or like a vintage real tree hat might sell, or like a vintage K products hat with like some type of well-known company on there. That was a given all day. But
Yeah.
now like Ray's Rib Shack on camo is gonna sell. You know what I
Okay.
mean? And
Okay.
so like that's what I've noticed.
Good advice.
Just anything that just it has, and it's not the woodland camo, although that is still always going to be a classic, but it's the real trend like mossy oak breakup patterns that are selling right now.
Yeah.
So that's what's trending. It's not all camo that's just like super on trend right now.
Right.
Woodland has never gone out of style, and I don't think it ever will.
I
I
agree.
don't think camo in general will, but it won't be as prevalent as it is right now.
Yeah.
And when we were up there at the Benz on Monday, I saw this hood dude hop out the car with like dreads, and he's got his like man bag and everything, because like those gangster dudes like to carry their pew pews in their bag. So I was like, that's how you know the stuff is trending. When a dude like that ain't got no business wearing that stuff is wearing it, that's how you know it's trending. So
Fair.
yeah, and he had on
Fair.
camo Crocs too, and I was like, bro, it's so cold out here. You
That's
got on
wild.
Crocs.
That's wild,
Dude,
bro.
check this out though. Like this is totally off topic, but it's based on Crocs. I was at church last night because I do the youth. And so like after we have our youth meeting at church, I watch the kids in the gym, make sure they don't get in no tomfoolery, go dip off in corners and do stuff they're not supposed to do. And so this kid had on regular basketball shoes and was playing basketball. And then a kid tried to dunk and he said, oh, we dunking? Hold on. And then he ran, took his basketball shoes off, put on some Crocs,
No.
slapped it in sports mode, and
No.
then went to go try to dunk. And I'm like, this, my
No.
mind does not compute what's going on right now, dude. Like,
No.
what are you putting on Crocs to dunk for when you literally had on basketball shoes? It's like, what is going on with the world? He put
That is
Crocs on in sports mode to dunk. I'm like, I'm so confused. I've lost all hope for the young generation.
That
Yeah.
is hilarious. That is hilarious. I mean,
Miss
did he?
Lachey, she said, huh?
Oh, I was just gonna ask. Were the basketball shoes like really nice? Were they trying to keep them fresh? Was that why?
I don't think so, man. I mean, they weren't like brand new or nothing like that.
Okay, because I was gonna say like
Maybe,
maybe if they were a nice pair of J's or something, I understand. You're gonna put on those crappy Crocs. You can do whatever you want with those. Like, I hate Crocs, but
yeah, yeah, I do
but
too.
um, yeah.
They're wearing Crocs and pajama pants out in public. Like, I don't get it.
Wild, wild. What's up, Hillary?
Hey, Hillary. She said she sold a Bible that was a mossy oak camo Bible. Sold quick.
No.
There's this guy in my discipleship group, and he had we use these journals. We use these journals right here. It's called the Replicate Disciples Journal. You buy them on like Amazon for like $20. He
Okay.
forgot to order one. Then so he walks in and he's got this camo journal. I was like, bro, you got your journal wrapped in camo? He's like, nah, man. I got this journal from somebody at some point in time or another. And I was like, that's sick. Dude's got a camo journal. But yeah,
That's
everything
funny.
is camo now. I
That's
see
funny.
like pickup trucks with like real true camo on the trim and like
Yeah.
real tree seats and like real tree steering wheel covers. I'm like, they're real treed out, man.
Oh yeah. That's
I
like I
get
feel
it.
I feel like that's my sister's boyfriend. Like Kyle would definitely do something like
Yeah.
that. He would definitely do something
Hillary
like
said camo Bible is Jesus hiding in the forest or something.
that.
Ain't no forest out there where they live at. Trust me. There's lack of trees. They have desert. They have the desert camo where it's brown like the Desert Storm.
Bro, you remember the crazy time in hip hop and rap when digital camo was a thing? Blue
Yeah.
digital camo? That was a
Yeah.
wild time. That was a
Yeah.
wild time.
Yeah. It's there's
Bright
been some trends that I'm just like, what?
bright yellow Nautica coats, bro.
Yeah.
With the
Yeah,
Tims.
dude.
With the Tims.
Remember back when like hot boys like Juvenile, Cash Money, and all them were wearing like really long, tall tees and like
Oh
baggy
yeah.
jabot pants, and
Oh yeah, dude.
like, whoa, dude, like this is straight. You guys are killing me, man.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Dude,
yeah,
tall
man.
tees, man.
And that's the thing, though. Like, man, you got to pay attention to that too, though. You
Oh
got to pay
yeah.
attention to that because that's the stuff that's going to circle back around.
Oh
You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like, that's how I knew a lot of these streetwear brands that are trending right now. Because when I was in high school in 98, 99, up to 2002, I would buy these rap magazines, The Source, Double XL,
Oh yeah.
and there was another one, Vibe magazine. And in
Okay.
between the pages of the articles, there was always these, clothing like Dada, uh, Aniche or NYC or however it's pronounced,
Yeah, yeah.
Mecca,
Oh man.
Paco,
Yeah.
Pepe, all these brands that
Yeah.
like if you find right now, it's like an unconditional buy.
Oh
It's
yeah.
trending, Fat Farm, all that
Oh
stuff, man.
yeah.
And so that's how I know right now when I see stuff, I'm like, I'm just gonna buy it because I know that it's trending. I'll find out how much I can sell it for when I get back home, but I'm not gonna pass it up.
Yeah.
South Pole, all that stuff, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
There's people out there selling South Pole for $10.
Yeah.
Jeans, $10, but you can sell those things for like $80, dude, if you get the right ones.
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah, so it's just
maybe
like
if it's
all.
modern, they're probably maybe pricing it. I don't know. Maybe they're mispricing it, but the modern stuff, I feel like
I
people.
just think they're sleeping on it, honestly.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, every brand that you mentioned, man, it's like such a throwback. But yeah, it is super, super hot right now.
Yeah.
Also, yes, Hillary, I know I have not changed Nightbot yet. It literally like we were talking about going through the motions earlier. Like I feel like because of where Tank was at that time when I did Extra
Mhm.
Life, like I was literally just going through the motions of
Yeah.
doing Extra Life. Like
Yeah.
this is crazy. But I will
Yeah,
I will
man.
change it. I will change it.
And I think everybody at some point or another in their time, it doesn't even have to be with reselling, but like you could be like at your job for you probably been working at this job for 2, 3 years, and you're just going through the motions. You get in your car every day, you drive there, you don't even realize how you got there. Next thing you know, you're in the parking lot and you're like, I don't want to go into this place. You know what I mean? And it's like that with everything at one point or another. I got like that about the gym at one time, and I love working out. You know what I mean? But
Sure.
when your life, everything isn't in balance, you start to not care about multiple things because you're putting your focus on one determining factor of your life or whatever you're focusing on in that season. And everything else kind of not necessarily falls by the wayside, right? But it's just it's weird, man, because um, you just want to get through it.
Yeah.
And I feel like, well, at least with making content, man, if I get in like a slump, it automatically affects the channel, right? Because
Sure.
everyone can see that, everyone can feel it. The videos don't, the retention goes down,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
view count goes down, all that stuff. And so, you got to, if you're paying attention to the trends and you care, you got to pivot real quick and go back to providing as much value as you can, because you're only as good as your last video. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if somebody was like, "Well, his video sucked last time. I'm not going to watch it this time either." And, now
Yeah.
you lost a subscriber. They might still be subscribed, but they're like what's the word for like an invalid,
Yeah.
subscriber that's just sitting there,
I,
like.
I don't know what the word is, but yeah, I know. I mean, we know what you're talking about for sure.
Mhm.
And like you hear it with like people who are big time content creators, like especially like who are on the live stream platforms. Like you
Yeah.
hear big Twitch content creators talk about, I'm scared to take time off because if they
Mhm.
take time off, they lose subs,
Yeah.
and subs on Twitch are paid. They're not like the subs on YouTube.
Okay.
Like subs on Twitch are paid, and they're like, I could lose hundreds, if not thousands, of subs if I take off more than one day in a row. So they
Wow.
just feel like they have to stream
Yeah.
every single day of their life, and like that's not healthy. That is just not healthy. Like you have to take time for yourself at
Yeah.
some point,
That's
and
definitely not the way to live, man.
yeah,
Being a slave to anything is not a good place to be in, and that's how I felt about eBay. Right? I was
sure,
like, I'm a slave to eBay. I got to list these 90 a day, and then I got to make content about it. Then I got to do coaching about it. And it was
sure,
like, like I was just literally getting drained. I was up 16-hour days, right? Working from one task right into the other. And back in, it was always like, I got to stop listing. I got to get on Patreon. I got to stop listing. I got to get on YouTube. I got to stop listing. I got to go to sleep. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like the whole
that whole
day.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And so like eventually I was like, you know what, man, something's got to give. There's got to be a better way to do this. And the whole time, like I was seeing people saying like there was a guy Perry that joined our Patreon, and he didn't even start on eBay until he had his store full of 1,000 items all in drafts, and then launched them all at one time. His store
wow,
went bananas, dude. And all
what?
of his yeah, all of his items were banging
Yo,
items too. And so like his first month on eBay, he did like $5,000 in a week. You know what I mean? Like
wow,
it was crazy. But he got his account. They flagged him. What's the
yeah,
CC? Oh, whatever. I was told him it was going to happen. I was like, bro, this is definitely going to happen to you. But he had receipts and he could prove it. So like he was only banned for like a week or whatever,
yeah,
and then he's still cooking. But I watched his store over the next couple of months, and how his price, his ASP was like crazy. How it was like $45 or something like that. And I'm
yeah,
like, dude, with the amount of items that you're listing, he was listing 20 a day, all good items, and his ASP was $45. So I was like, he's on to something. I was like, I got to go down and do what he's doing. And so then Bo did it, and then I did it when I saw him and Bo both having results with it. I was like, they're working way less than I am, and they're making the same amount of money. So I was
yeah,
like, let me just pivot and do that too, man, because like it's the only thing that's going to give me nice. Sorry, I just got a notification. I've been subbed to these people's Patreon for like 6 months, and they just finally put out they. It's about stuff going on in the demonic realm, how it's like right in your face but nobody sees it. But they
okay.
put together these really intricate theatrical like videos. It takes them like 6 months to put a video together, and they finally listed one that I've been waiting a year for.
Good lord,
Know what I'm doing after I get off this live
good
stream.
lord,
But
that's
yeah, so
commitment, bro.
yeah.
That is
But
commitment.
yeah, so with that being said, though, man, like you got to do what works. So if you're working and you're hating what you're doing, it's probably not going to be sustainable at any job, not just eBay.
Yeah,
If you're grinding it out and cranking out the content and you're losing joy, take a break. Don't worry. I don't know about Twitch, but if you need a break, you have to take a break because your body's going to shut down. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Your mental will
Well,
shut your body down.
oh yeah. I mean, think about like, I mean, again, these big streamers, they're not doing like 4 hour eBay days. They're doing
Yeah,
10, 12
hours
hour,
and
10,
hours.
10 12-hour streams every day, like
Yeah,
in order to keep that
yeah.
ball, that
Yeah.
sub ball rolling. You know what I'm
And I mean,
saying?
I guess they're balling too, but at the same
Oh,
time,
I mean,
it's not
exactly.
worth it.
But it's like the classic case of like, is money gonna buy you
Yeah,
the
fact.
mental anguish? Like, is it gonna get rid of your mental anguish that you have
Yeah,
looming, the
yeah,
anxiety that you have looming if you
yeah,
take time off? No,
yeah.
that is priceless.
I
That
can
is
only imagine how
priceless.
like Mr. Beast feels like with all those millions of subscribers. Like, what if I put out a bad video? Or, like,
I
but I guess
mean,
he's got a team behind him to make
yeah,
sure that doesn't happen.
I was gonna say like he's already established so much that like he's fine.
Yeah.
He's fine. He could flop on a video and it would still be.
Yeah,
It would
there's
still be
people that
fine.
literally watch his videos just because he put it out.
Yeah,
You
for
know what
sure.
I mean?
Yeah,
So, yeah,
exactly.
man.
Yeah.
I've never watched a Mr. Beast video.
Really? Dude,
Never. I have not one bit of interest in watching his videos.
they're
I think
good.
he's a weirdo.
They're
I
good,
think
man.
him as a person, I think he's weird.
Think he's weird?
I
Okay.
think he's totally weird. He's a weird guy. You know what I mean? So like I can't get past the way he talks and his hand gestures. He moves his hands an awful lot. And it's just like, bro, slow down on the caffeine. You know what I mean?
All right. All right. Well, I mean, again, you can create the best content. If you don't like the person, you don't like the person.
Yeah. Now does he know what he's talking about when
Well,
it comes to making content? He does.
he makes
Right?
entertaining videos. I mean,
He does.
there's
But at the
that's
same
all there
time though,
is to
like
it.
that's what it's all about though, right? He's willing to spend the most money and put the most effort into a video to make it do millions and millions of views when there's people out there that are just like, oh, I'm gonna just film myself on my camera and just
Yeah.
throw it up and see what happens.
That's us.
Like,
Yeah.
and so like he's putting the effort in, you know what I mean? But like that's why he's on like Think Media, like Grow It Video Live, like Ranking Academy and stuff like that. And yeah, I do have a thing about hand gestures. What I have an even bigger thing about is men that suck their teeth, like, well, and then I really cannot stand that. It's enough to make me unsubscribe to you, right? And then on top of that, I can't stand when I hear, like if you're talking and I hear that, I get so upset. Other than that, like hand gestures really bother me, but I can't stand teeth sucking on a man. I think it's very effeminate, and I don't think men should do it. I don't understand why they do it, and I think they sound distinguished, but you sound like a fool.
I
Don't do
mean,
it.
I'm trying to think of any content creator I watch that does that, and I can't think of anyone that
I
does.
can't think of any content creators, but I think of like people that are like
Okay.
that are doing like speeches, and it's usually
Yeah.
like a speech or a sermon or something like that, where
Hmm.
and I mean, and I know him, but I'm not going to put him on blast right now because I really like him as a person,
Yeah.
but I don't like it when he does that.
Yeah. No, I mean,
So,
that's funny that you mentioned that because I don't think I ever noticed people doing that.
yeah.
But
Yeah, I was talking to my brother about it. He's like, Marcus, because I ruined it for him. He was watching somebody. He's
That's
like, that's
funny.
all I pay attention to
That's
now.
funny. Yeah. Yeah. Or like you'll point out like a facial feature on somebody's face, and that's all you can
That's
look
all
at.
you can see after
Yeah.
that. And
Yeah.
I'm sure there's things that I do that people can't stand. Because there's a beta, one of the subscribers to my channel. He's like, bro, who you been hanging around with that says case in point? Like for like, as an example, this,
I
I'll be
mean,
like case in point. And he's like, who you been talking to that says that all the time? I was like, I ain't been around nobody, bro. That's just something I say. And he's like, I just started noticing it recently. So he thought that I just picked it up from somebody.
I mean, Zesty does give me trouble about like the little like old timey sayings that I have. I'm trying to think
got those two, like dad jokes and
yeah,
dad
I think we've talked about that actually on an
Yeah.
episode where we had Zesty on, but she gives me so much crap
It's all good.
for that. But I talk with my hands a lot. You need to tell me
You don't talk bad with your hands though.
yeah.
Like, and your hand gestures are totally called for. It's like Mr. Beach just looks like he had a seizure out of nowhere. It's like really quick in succession. It's like, bro, like
I don't know. It is weird how each of us do have those little like quips of like how you notice it, and I don't. Like I don't notice that little like the little. I don't notice that.
I notice it because I think it's effeminate, and I'm just like,
I mean, that's fair.
You're such a macho dude, man. Like, but you're making these weird noises, man, with your mouth.
Maybe they can't help it. Maybe they can't help it. I don't know.
I think so.
I don't know.
I'm just looking for the man's man, to like.
I want
to
see,
be able to like, you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to find my tribe. You know,
I want you to
like,
spit tobacco and
well,
chop
you
firewood.
do all that, you know what I mean? Because I don't even do that type of stuff. But as I grow into mature adulthood, and I'm not some young street punk anymore, like running with my goons and doing all the street stupid thug stuff. I want examples of what it looks like to be a real man, right? Because my real manhood is packing a gun and like beating people up. That's really coward stuff, right? That's not a good example of what it's like to be a man. Right. So I'm looking for my tribe out there, and then I find these people, and I'm like, these dudes seem like they're guys I can get behind. You know what I mean? And then they start sucking their teeth, and I'm like, oh man.
Like that you want to find the non-toxic masculinity out there, and I get that. I get that. But maybe they are doing it voluntarily or they're doing it involuntarily. We'll never know. But But until next time, guys, we are
Yeah.
there. We are at the end of our
Yeah.
of our podcast, guys. DFF, I'm sorry you're a little late. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Actually, is that
Sounds
somebody
good,
that
though.
changed their name? You have a you
Got a ranch. Who's that?
got,
Fly
oh, that's
Days?
Fly Days. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Ray is literally talking with his hands. Dude does ASL. Yeah, I mean, that would be funny if Marcus did get somebody that was just signing, you know.
No, I would
That
know
would
the
be
difference in that, but yeah.
Do you have anything coming out tomorrow? Got a video coming out?
I haven't recorded it yet, but I'm gonna record it in the morning.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so video coming out tomorrow.
Cool. If Zesty and I do travel to the bins this weekend, we might go to Jacksonville, Illinois. Depends.
Okay,
We're gonna try to do a video then if it feels right. Again, I apologize, guys, about not posting a regular video, but thank you to everyone who has come out and supported us on Whatnot. We really appreciate you. I know I've seen Jeff in there. I know I've seen Travis Bartermania. I've seen him in there.
Nice.
Fly Days, I've seen him in there. Thank you guys for coming out and just supporting the Whatnots, helping us keep a roof over our heads. So cool. Sound good? All right, guys. We love y'all. We'll see y'all in 2 weeks on Marcus's channel.
Over here.
So sounds good. All right, guys.
Yep.
Anything else?
That's
Anything
it.
else? All right, cool.
Get out of here.
All right, guys. Peace out.